For all of his 16 years, Brandon Bennett has been fighting a losing battle with his own body.
I am afraid that I could die before my life should be over.
Brandon is morbidly obese, and his lifespan is shortening with every pound.
He stops breathing 68 times a night. I have to get up and check to see if my son's still breathing. He could die any night.
But Brandon is about to take a desperate chance on a risky procedure that offers his only hope for living a normal life.
Brandon told me, he said, "Dad, I would rather take the chance at death than to continue to live in this big body of mine."
It's a dangerous gamble, but one that Brandon Bennett is willing to risk. He knows his body is a walking time bomb, and his life hangs in the balance. Brandon Bennett is 16, an age when fitting in is the ultimate goal. Anyone who's different or stands out from the crowd is likely to face isolation and ridicule. And for a severely obese teenager, especially one who stands 6'2" and weighs 411 pounds, there's no place to hide.
When I go to class and, I don't fit in a desk and I gotta sit in a different desk than anybody else, I don't fit in there. I can't go to a professional baseball game or a professional football game because I can't fit in the seats.
The reactions from the other people can be kind of saddening sometimes. People's eyes get wide and their jaws drop open and, just, whoa, I can't believe how big he is.
It's just mean things that, someone doesn't deserve to be called just because they were born big. Some of the names that I've heard at school he's just weird. He sucks, this and that. Like, say, "Oh, you're big, get away from me." Fat ass. He's like my best friend and everything, and it's like, I can't fight them all or whatever, but I mean, I've heard it all.
It just makes me stand out and seem like an outcast sometimes.
You know how girls are. First thing to see is looks and everything, pretty much. So, I don't remember him ever having a girlfriend.
It's a painful experience, but hardly one Brandon faces alone. Teenage obesity is at epidemic proportions. It's estimated that more than 5 million American teens are obese, meaning they are more than 20% above their ideal body weight.
Obesity among teenagers has quadrupled over the last 20 years. If the slope of the curve continues and we see the same increase over the next 5 to 10 years, 1 out of every 4 teenagers would be seriously overweight. Easily after 10 years, we're going to be seeing a majority of teenagers not overweight, but obese.
The problem often starts early. According to the American Heart Association, more than 10% of children aged 2 to 5 are already overweight. Brandon started gaining weight when he was 4 years old, and it never stopped.
Brandon was always a little boy in a man's body, a big man's body.
All my life, I was bigger than all my classmates.
Here, he's in kindergarten, looked like a 4th, 5th grade kid. He became very withdrawn. He started getting bigger and recognizing that he was different. And it made it very hard on him. He got picked on by all the kids. And he was suffering quite a bit.
When I was in 2nd grade, after school, when I'd go home, the 6th graders would beat me up for being big. And other kids would go sharpen their pencils and sit behind me and stab me in the back.
At that point in Brandon's life, I was sitting in the backyard with him, and I said, "You are so cute." And he looked at me, and he said, "Mom, I know I'm fat and ugly, so you don't have to lie to me." And I said, "My God, this is the way my son feels."
Brandon comes from average-sized parents, and his 2 older sisters were never overweight, so the family couldn't understand why Brandon grew so heavy. At one point, his parents even took him in for testing.
We thought for sure there's some bodily organ that's not working right. How could this child get so big? After he went through those tests, we realized that, there was nothing medically wrong with him.
The pediatrician said that it was in the genes, that it was genetic somewhere down the line.
It means that in his family, someone was overweight or someone was obese. If it's not mom and dad, it might have been grandpa or grandma. But genetics are really just contributory to 30% of the problem. 70% of the problem comes from the environment, comes from what that child is consuming on a daily basis.
I always say genetics may load the gun, but environment pulls the trigger.
Brandon's parents tried to control their son's environment by limiting the amount of calories he consumed.
Like when I was younger, my mom would just try to give me like lower fat foods and lower calorie foods and less of them. But as I got older, we moved into the more strict diets like the Atkins diet or calorie counting or Weight Watchers. Well, I was always on diets, but it never worked. I'd lose, 5, 10 pounds, but then I'd just gain it right back, and plus more.
What we have found is that children who harbor the gene for obesity have a lower resting metabolic rate than those who don't. What you find is that these kids can put on weight much faster.
Brandon puts on probably anywhere from 40 to 60 pounds a year.
As Brandon's weight spiraled out of control, every aspect of his life was affected. He couldn't buy clothes his size at most stores. He couldn't fit into seats at movie theaters or take rides at amusement parks. Brandon's whole childhood was one of living on the outside looking in.
If I had a magic wand and I could change that for my son to where he wasn't the biggest kid in the school, I would do that in a minute just to give him a normal type of life.
Brandon's frustration with his weight led him into a vicious cycle of eating more and more.
Food, it's like a stress reliever. It's a comfort thing. If I'm stressed out or mad about something, then I'll just eat. I mean, when I'd wake up, I'd be hungry. I'd be asking what was for breakfast. But while I was eating breakfast and while I got done with breakfast, I'd be like, well, what's for lunch now? I don't get full that easy. My typical meal, it's big. I don't just eat one plate. I go back for seconds or thirds.
By the time he was a teenager, Brandon was well over 300 pounds. He had passed from obese into what's known as morbidly obese, meaning he was now more than 100 pounds overweight and likely to develop life-threatening health problems. He became insulin resistant, a precursor of diabetes.
Well, the biggest concern about my health is probably my diabetes right now, if I get it, and what will happen if I get it.
But the potential for diabetes was just one of his medical problems. As he passed 400 pounds, he entered a category called super obesity. He was now more than twice the size of a healthy counterpart, and his lifespan was shortening with every pound.
Children who are obese face chronic diseases that are related to obesity. They'll be at higher risk for diabetes, cardiovascular disease, certain cancers. So there's very real long-term risks to being obese as a child.
Some of my health problems are severe sleep apnea, fatty liver, and I also said I had fat in my blood. I have allergies, lower back and knee problems, high blood pressure and elevated heart rate. I have to take pills every morning for heart medicine, and that's something a 16-year-old shouldn't have to do.
At one time, they sent him home from school, and they said he needs to go directly to the emergency room because we think, he might be having a heart attack. And it wasn't just a weight issue anymore. It was a health issue, and it got worse. And it's still getting worse.
Brandon now had to sleep with a CPAP machine to help him breathe because of his severe sleep apnea. Without it, he would stop breathing numerous times every night. His future seemed to be one of failing health, and most likely, an early death. At well over 400 pounds, Brandon Bennett was faced with a desperate future. His health, already causing serious problems, was only likely to worsen. At age 16, he was already a prime candidate for diabetes, heart attack, or stroke.
I am afraid that I could die before my life should be over.
But Brandon decided to take his life in his own hands. He heard about a possible solution: bariatric surgery, operations to promote rapid weight loss.
I looked it up on the internet and I read some stuff about it. And I went to my mom and told her about it.
He would pull me in there and say, Mom, look, I want you to read this. He said, Mom, this is like light at the end of my tunnel. This is something I really want you to look into.
The most common form of the surgery is called a gastric bypass. It involves cutting and stapling shut part of the stomach. And it can be dangerous. Some patients have serious complications, and 1 in 400 die. But the more she saw her son's health deteriorate, the more Allison Bennett began to agree that the surgery might be Brandon's only chance.
I have to envision it through my son's eyes. I've seen him. I've seen his life. I've seen his hurt. I've seen his hardships. I've seen, the things he's gone through. And yes, it scares me to death. But if there's a procedure that's going to erase all of his health issues, all of them, reverse them, and give him a normal life, that's priceless.
Brandon's father was not so easily convinced.
I immediately objected. That's absolutely the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. You're not going to go through some surgery where they take your stomach. What are you thinking? What kind of a life would that be?
But once Brandon's health was obviously failing, his father's hardline stance would begin to change.
The more time progressed and the heavier Brandon got, the more health issues became very obvious, glaring issues that I could no longer dismiss. It wasn't a matter of being fat or not being fat. It was a matter of being able to live or being able to die.
Even after convincing Brandon's father, they still faced another major hurdle: finding a surgeon willing to perform the gastric bypass operation on a teenager. The number of teens who have actually had the surgery is only in the hundreds. There are few studies on the long-range effects, and many in the medical community believe the risks are too high.
20% of adults who undergo these procedures have complications. And those are the adult statistics. We don't know what complications the children will show.
Gastric bypass is not a walk in the park here. We're literally replumbing you. We're taking a teenager and we're recreating the digestive system. But if you're only 16, you're young. How does this impact upon everything from growth to metabolism? We just don't know answers yet.
Every surgeon they contacted told Brandon and his parents to come back when he was 18.
By 18, do I wait till he's 500-600 pounds with full-blown diabetes and not able to sleep at all? He stops breathing 68 times a night. I have to get up and check to see if my son's still breathing. He could die any night. What's his life going to be like without the surgery? And I think it's a lot bleaker than the risk of having the surgery.
After being turned down by nearly 30 doctors, it seemed like they had exhausted their options. But then, a ray of hope. Brandon read about a local hospital that was beginning to perform the surgery on teenagers as part of a clinical study. He contacted the hospital and wrote a 3-page letter to the doctors.
I just wanted to be a normal teenager and sit in a desk at school, ride in my friends' cars, and play sports like everyone else. If I was to get this surgery, I'd be so thankful for everything.
After a battery of tests, Brandon was accepted into the study, and surgery was scheduled for September 2004. The Bennetts were under the impression that their insurance would pay for the $80,000 procedure. But 4 days before the scheduled operation, they were stunned to hear that their insurance would not cover the surgery.
And I'm like, how am I going to tell my son that you've just turned out the light at the end of his tunnel? We're a few days from surgery. I would never have done that to him.
And they cautioned us to keep a close eye on him because at this point, in bariatric patients that get turned down for surgery, they become suicidal. So here I am, the dad. Okay, well, all I have to really do is come up with $32,000 in 48 hours and everything will be just fine. And I was prepared to take out a loan at the bank if we had to, or mortgage the house, or sell the house.
Desperate to help their son, Brandon's parents decided to go public, calling a reporter at the Houston Chronicle. Within days, all of Houston was aware of Brandon Bennett and his fight for life. One woman was especially touched by Brandon's struggle because she had been a gastric bypass patient herself. Her name was Angie Flores, and she worked as a patient liaison at a clinic called Obesity Surgery Specialists. Angie called Brandon to tell him that not only would they consider his case, they might also be able to find a solution to his dilemma.
Well, Brandon, I want to show you my picture. I wanted to show you my before and then my after. After my surgery, I went to Astral. I've done the roller coasters and the bungee jump.
Well, I'll go with my friends and they'll be like, you want to ride this ride? I said,
Can't. I understand.
I'll wait for the next one.
Yeah. Well, I promise you this, Brandon. As soon as you've lost enough weight, we'll go.
Okay.
We'll go. I'll take you.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, it is.
For the next few hours, Brandon's case was thoroughly evaluated. The family returned home, encouraged by the day's events.
It's really amazing that that Angie lady would call out of the blue.
Angie is an angel. People like that are hard to find.
But they knew the decision still rested with the clinic's medical staff. After so many rejections, the Bennetts braced themselves for another denial. Later that night, they finally got the answer.
We just received a phone call before this interview started that said that they will accept Brandon as a patient. They normally do not treat children. And not only would they accept him as a patient, that they would do it as a courtesy, and there would be no charge to the family.
They just rewrote my son's whole future. I mean, how do you thank somebody for that?
The hospital, the doctor, the clinic, it's unbelievable.
I was just speechless that he said it would be for free.
Who would have thought it? Who would have thought?
Today was a good day. It's one of the best days of my life. The lady that had found me and read my article, she had also had the surgery. So she came up to me and said, I'm gonna take you to the amusement park when you get your surgery. So that was special.
For 2 years, Brandon Bennett had struggled to get the gastric bypass surgery he desperately needed. After his insurance company refused to pay for the operation, Brandon went to the media with his story. Within days, an obesity clinic came forward with an astonishing offer.
You have a 16-year-old whose social, emotional life has already been damaged by his morbid obesity, and his health is being seriously impacted, and he can't get treatment for it. So it didn't take us long to decide that this is what we needed to do and offer the surgery free of charge.
Hey, Brandon.
Hey, how you doing?
Rob Marvin, nice to meet you. This is my physician's assistant, Al Mergen.
Nervous and excited, Brandon met with the doctor who would perform the surgery.
Okay, Brandon, why don't we go ahead and lay back flat, please? Okay. Can you bring your shirt up to about this level?
Yes.
Although Dr. Robert Marvin had never performed the surgery on someone this young, Brandon's extreme medical problems convinced him to offer his services.
He could have a stroke, he could have a heart attack. And I hate to see him have a heart attack at a young age simply because he's overweight.
Dr. Marvin explained the details of the surgery, in which a section of Brandon's stomach would be cut off and formed into a pouch roughly the size of an egg. Effectively, a new stomach. A piece of the small intestine would then be attached to the pouch, bypassing the old stomach, which would be stapled shut.
Bother you up there?
The new, smaller stomach would limit the intake of food, yet still create a sense of being full.
Why don't we get you to sit up
The
here?
result? Rapid weight loss, and the health benefits that would come with it. Nationwide, more than 700,000 people have had the surgery, with an average weight loss of 100 pounds in the first year. But the procedure is largely untested on teenagers. Would someone as young as Brandon face serious medical complications years later? No one could be sure. Dr. Marvin also warned the family about the potential risks from the surgery itself.
The two main things we worry about in the early period after the operation are blood clots that form in the veins of the legs. If they break off and travel up to the lungs, that's called a pulmonary embolus, and that can be a fatal thing. You can die from that. The other thing we worry about is a leak, because if some of the juice inside the intestine can get out and infect the rest of the abdominal space. The chance of that happening is very small, but that's the thing we really watch for very closely in the early post-operative period.
You know, it is life-threatening. He could die through this surgery. And Brandon told me, he said, "Dad, I would rather take the chance at death than to continue to live in this big body of mine. So this is a chance that I want to take."
The night before surgery, Brandon's family takes him and several of his friends out for what is jokingly referred to as the Last Supper.
It's the last supper to this life, and then I get to start a new one.
It's the last time Brandon will be able to eat as much as he wants. As in Cinderella, the clock will soon chime.
Before the surgery, I have to stop eating at midnight. That way, my stomach is empty.
By the time the evening is over, the festive atmosphere quickly fades, as Brandon's parents face the fact that tomorrow is a life or death situation for their son.
And of course, as parents, you know, we don't want to put our children in harm's way in any way. I mean, it should be okay, but you know, there's a chance. And if something were to happen, we just have to remember it's what he wanted.
October 28, 2004. In the pre-dawn hours, Brandon and his parents set out for Houston's Renaissance Hospital, a journey they hoped would change his life forever. The Bennetts had no idea what would be waiting for them. Brandon's story had struck a chord with the media and the community. Most of the TV stations in town were there to cover the event. Suddenly, the kid who was always on the sidelines was now the center of attention.
How you feeling this morning?
I feel excited and tired and anxious just to get it over.
And through it all, Angie Flores was at his side.
Our whole life is going to change. Everything. There's not one thing in my life that has remained the same.
It just kind of hit me hard last night. I was like, it's pretty cool.
One of the questions Brandon asked me was if it hurt. And I told him, yeah, it hurts. You feel like you got run over by a car. But in a couple of days, that pain is gone. Your new life is beginning. You're shedding your weight.
Having gone through it herself, Angie had become more than Brandon's patient liaison. She had become his friend and guardian angel.
I understand what they're going through, and they know I'll be there for them. I'll walk them through it. I'll hold their hand if that's what it takes.
This is a step up on the scale. You're gonna get your weight.
During his pre-op exam, Brandon weighed in at a deadly 411.5 pounds. Twice as much as he should weigh for his age and height.
Appendix still there?
Yes.
No gallbladder surgery?
No.
By 9:30, Brandon was in his room being prepped for surgery.
And what grade are you?
11th.
11th grade?
With the operation just minutes away, Brandon was calm and relaxed. But his parents were filled with anxiety.
How do you describe being happy and sad, or hopeful and fearful at the same time? Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
Yeah, it's hard. But so is his life. So as his mother, I can only kiss him, tell him I love him, and pray that they do a good job.
Shortly after 10 a.m., Brandon is wheeled out of his room and into the OR. If all goes well, the surgery should take less than 2 hours. Dr. Robert Marvin has performed dozens of bariatric surgeries, but never on a patient as young as Brandon. Even he feels the tension of the moment.
I feel a little bit nervous, but I think sort of like an athlete would be right before the event. Once it starts, we'll get down to business and concentrate on what we need to do.
Although it's a major surgery, Brandon will not have major incisions. The procedure will be done laparoscopically, through several openings the size of a keyhole.
Okay, can we get the gas on high, please? Laparoscopic surgery means making small incisions, inserting a camera into the abdominal space through one of those incisions, and basically doing the operation watching monitors transmitting that image through to the surgeon. Okay, give me a little more side look. There we go.
The first step is creating what is essentially Brandon's new stomach.
We take the very upper part of the stomach and we make a small pouch. That's completely separated from the remainder of the stomach.
The remaining portion of his stomach will be stapled shut.
Okay, what we're going to do now is measure out a length of this intestine for part of the bypass loop.
His smaller stomach is designed to reduce food intake. A shorter intestine means less time for what he does eat to be broken down and digested. It's a two-pronged approach to cutting the calories his body absorbs.
Let me get this stuff out of the way.
A third factor may also come into play. Because the surgery causes a hormone called ghrelin to be reduced in the body.
That hormone is thought to have something to do with hunger, and most of the patients are less hungry than before the operation, and that may be one of the secret added benefits of doing this operation.
Brandon has been in surgery for over an hour.
I'm concerned, worried. You know, as parents, I think all parents would be very worried at this point. We have a lot of confidence in the staff, but you know, there's a chance things could go wrong, so we're afraid.
Right now, we're going to occlude this intestine, and we're going to put some solution with a blue dye in it here to see if there's any leaks anywhere. There is a small chance that the patient could develop a leak. That's where the intestinal juice can get from inside the intestine out, usually through one of the staple lines, and cause a fairly significant infection. If that infection goes on long enough, it isn't treated, the patient can die from that. There's no blue dye anywhere here, and there's the staple line on the back side on the other side, and I don't see any evidence of any blue dye there. We're going to close up our sites. We'll start with the one on the left side, which is the most troublesome one.
By 1:30, Brandon's surgery is over.
We're all done. Everything went fine. Everything went exactly as we expected it would go. There was nothing unusual about the surgery. So it was about an hour and 45 minutes. Yeah, he's okay. He's fine. He's in recovery room.
Nothing got nicked. It all went together, back together perfectly.
No nicking.
Good.
No nicking, no bleeding.
We're just beside ourselves. Could jump for joy, I imagine.
Now we watch for other problems, things like bleeding from the staple lines and stuff that can show up immediately after the surgery, or obviously respiratory complications after general anesthesia. But in terms of the procedure itself, there was nothing unusual.
By 2:30, Brandon begins to come out of the anesthesia.
How you feeling, man? You starting to come out better? Okay. Well, you did good. The doctor said you did great. You hurt a lot? We're here for you.
After a few hours in recovery, it's important for Brandon to get up and walk to help prevent blood clots from forming in his legs. The media is there to document his first steps.
Good job, Brando.
Brandon spends the night at the hospital. The next morning, he's cleared to leave.
So, Brandon, you ready to go home? You feeling okay?
Yeah.
Great. Well, the doctor released you to be discharged, so said everything looks fine. You look great. Everything else looks great.
You feeling great? You feel okay?
With the surgery behind him, Brandon is about to begin his new life. But will his body accept the drastic changes made during the operation? And does Brandon have the will to change the way he's lived his life for the past 16 years? It's been 1 month since Brandon Bennett had the gastric bypass surgery that he hopes will turn his life around. Before surgery, Brandon topped the scales at 411.5 pounds, a weight that was literally killing him. Brandon's goal is to lose 170 pounds, which would put him at 240. Today will be Brandon's first opportunity to see if he's on track, as he returns to the obesity surgery specialists and the scale.
Okay, it's 378. He lost 33.5 pounds. Very good.
Losing a pound a day is the average weight loss for patients during the first month. At 378, Brandon is right on target.
It makes me feel pretty good that I've lost that much, but I can't really tell the difference yet.
For most of the last month, Brandon has been on a post-surgery diet of soft food and liquids. But now he's starting to eat solid foods again. And that's where some of the biggest challenges lie. Although the surgery shrinks the stomach, many patients run into problems if they try to return to their old eating habits.
The stomach is an elastic muscle, and it can definitely stretch out again. How do you explain to a 16-year-old that his portion sizes are going to change, and that if he doesn't really change his portion sizes, long-term, he will regain the weight?
Okay, what can you eat?
Brandon meets with dietitian Sunny Gornick to discuss the rules he will have to follow for the rest of his life.
We want to make sure it's a healthy diet. Basically a high protein, a low fat, low saturated fat kind of diet. Remember your pouch is about the size of an egg, so just make sure that you're not overdoing it. It's kind of like learning all over how to eat.
The biggest adjustment will be keeping the portion size down, although Brandon is free to eat a wide variety of foods.
I have a piece of pizza.
And how did that do?
That went fine.
Okay.
It didn't hurt or anything.
Okay, so you're still able to live a completely normal lifestyle. You know, you can still go out with your friends, you can still go do what you usually did before. It's just that, you know, you're not eating a number 3, you know, supersized or anything like that.
The teenager who easily put away double or triple servings at every meal now gets by on less than half of a single serving.
The first, 2 weeks were the hardest. And then it got easier, and now it's just pretty much a normal thing.
My grocery bill's going to go down tremendously.
To make sure he gets all the nutrients he needs given his smaller meals, Brandon takes a daily regimen of vitamins and supplements. This is especially crucial for teenagers after bariatric surgery.
Many of them don't get anywhere near the amount of calcium, let alone protein, that they need to be able to, maintain healthy, strong bones. If they're not taking it through supplements, how else are they going to get it?
But diet isn't the only radical change in Brandon's lifestyle. For maximum results, Brandon must exercise on a regular basis.
At the gym, I always do cardio, which is either the treadmill or the elliptical or the bike. In between those, I'll do my muscle workouts.
Ready? Push off.
I enjoy working out. After I get done working out, I usually feel more energized than before.
It's now 2 months after surgery, and Brandon's lost another 26 pounds. He's at 353, almost 60 pounds less than before his operation.
Man, did you see my new watch? Oh, wow. Gotcha, man.
At a family gathering, Brandon's new, slimmer look takes his relatives by surprise.
He looked great. He looks healthy.
It's just a phenomenal change in him. There is a sparkle in his eye.
He just looks so wonderful. He looks happy. A miracle to see the turn in him.
It feels pretty nice to hear that from somebody you hadn't seen in a while, that you look pretty good since you lost some weight.
But Brandon doesn't stop there. For the next several months, he dedicates himself to stepping up his exercise program and sticking to the new diet. The results speak for themselves when he returns to the clinic for his 6-month checkup.
Oh, you look good. You look really good. Wow. I cannot believe this.
Come on in, Brandon. Let's weigh, see what you're at right now. You look amazing. Go ahead and step on it.
Take those shoes.
Take the shoe. Yeah, definitely take the shoes off. Oh my goodness. 295 pounds. Congrats.
It's a major milestone for Brandon. The last time he weighed less than 300 pounds, he was 12 years old. He's now lost more than 115 pounds. In most cases, a patient will lose 70 to 75% of their extra body weight in the first 2 years. Brandon is right on target to meet that goal.
I'm playing a lot more basketball now this summer and everything.
Okay, your outcome's been terrific so far. And
So his weight loss is where it should be?
right, but even more importantly, his other medical problems gone away.
6 months ago, when he visited the same clinic, Brandon suffered from high blood pressure, severe sleep apnea, was borderline diabetic, and a prime candidate for a heart attack.
Pretty normal.
Today, his test results show no signs of any of these conditions.
Okay, why don't you go ahead and lay back flat? Check your stomach real quick. That's the real reason to get control of the weight, so you can get rid of those other medical problems that obesity causes. Your weight loss should continue up to 18 months to 2 years, so I expect some more to come off. This is clearly a case where the treatment works, and as a physician, that's what you go into medicine for, to see something like that. But this is extremely gratifying from a personal standpoint as a doctor and as a surgeon.
My name's Dorian. How you doing? Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you,
How you
too.
doing? Nice to meet you.
Hello, Dorian.
How you
I'm
doing,
Michael
sir?
Bennett.
Nice to meet you.
Brandon's dramatic weight loss has opened up all the avenues to a normal life he'd hoped it would,
Pretty much everything, huh?
including being able to trade in the truck he's had to drive.
I chose the truck because, you know, I was pretty big and I couldn't fit into a smaller car. But now it's not practical to have that big of a vehicle, so I'm looking at a little Scion XB, which I wouldn't have been able to fit in before. I didn't think I would be able to fit in one. And even in the back seat, I could fit in the back seat.
He just lit up, you know, it was kind of neat to see, even though we didn't get the car.
By June, Brandon has lost another 19 pounds. He's down to 276 and has become confident enough to begin dating several girls. Jamie Grosjean, his lunch companion today, is a longtime friend.
I've been going to school with Brandon since intermediate school. He's a great friend. He's just one of those people you can connect with real easily and just talk to.
Have you ever eaten quail? It's like little tiny chickens.
The biggest change I've seen in Brandon is definitely his personality. He's just so more out there, more excited, wants to talk to more people. Getting there. Are you full? I know you're probably full.
Yeah, I am pretty full, actually.
How much could you used to eat? Would you be able to eat all of this?
I'd be able to eat more than all this.
He's got to feel better about himself, you know? So he carries himself better. He's more positive around girls.
One of Brandon's long-standing goals was to find a part-time job. He had interviewed for several jobs before the surgery, but was always turned down.
They just told me I was too big and that they wouldn't hire me because of it.
But now he's reached another milestone.
Can I get these out of y'all's way?
He's landed a job at a local restaurant. And it's a measure of how far Brandon has come, that he can work in a restaurant and still resist the old temptations.
I'll eat the food, I just don't eat much. I like how it tastes, but it doesn't bother me to be around all the food, you know? It's not that big of a deal.
I just think he's one of the most special kids I've seen in a while. He's a team player. He just never can burden him with too much. He's ready to go. He certainly has inspired me. And I think he's inspired everybody around here. We all love him.
And Brandon continues to inspire others facing the same dilemmas he did only 7 months ago. Obesity surgery specialists invites him back to speak to an audience considering weight loss surgery.
It's hard at first. I mean, nothing can prepare you to stop eating, even if you get the psychiatry or anything. But, I mean, you'll move on, because after a while, it's just not important to eat anymore. I mean, I used to love to eat. I still do love to eat, but I just, you know, take a taste now, and if it tastes good, it tastes good. I just don't feel like eating anymore. Thank you. Good luck with the surgery.
He is very easy to talk to. He answers emails all the time from people all over the world thinking about the surgery. Brandon will take his knowledge and share it and then help these people get the help that they're so scared to ask for.
Beyond the medical benefits, Brandon's finding that his energy level is rising. At the same rate his pounds are falling.
I can play basketball longer now than I used to be able to, you know. I'll play for, you know, about an hour and a half instead of, you know, 30 minutes. Walking up and down the stairs is also a big difference. You know, I used to just go up, you know, at night when I needed to go to sleep, and I'd come down when I needed to leave. But now I'll go up and down, you know, whenever I need to.
He's just like totally changed. And then he just also looks lighter and everything. His face is more thinner, everything.
By now, Brandon's thinning out so much, his old clothes have become a fixture at local charities. He no longer needs those size 56 pants.
I feel like I'm looking better. I mean, I can wear different clothes. Used to be different types of clothes that wouldn't make my size, but now more places carry my sizes, so I can go shopping a lot more different places.
Brandon used to favor a hip-hop look that allowed him to wear baggy clothes to hide his body. But now that he can wear regular sizes, he seems to be headed for a more traditional look.
Brandon sees the change himself. In the past, he would continue to grow and grow and grow, and now he's watching himself get smaller and smaller and smaller, and I'm sure that he even stands in the mirror in amazement, as we do when we look at him.
Each day is a new day for him, and just a new skinny day. Now, me and Brandon are able to do a lot more things than we used to be able to do. Everything just seems a lot better. We can go to... He's a cool guy.
My last jet skiing experience, it was really frustrating, you know. I was too big, you know, I was too top-heavy. I mean, it was so hard for me to get on it. I couldn't stay on it. I was like, I don't want to ever go jet skiing again. Now it's different.
Just seems to enjoy life a lot more. We can go to Astro World and go enjoy the roller coasters there or water parks, and he feels a lot more confident with just wearing a bathing suit than he used to. So that's a real great change to see him.
One year ago, Brandon Bennett weighed 411 pounds. In a high school with more than 3,000 students, he was by far the biggest kid in school. His obesity isolated him from many of his classmates and limited his ability to take part in normal high school activities. But today marks a new beginning. Brandon will be going back to school with what is virtually a new identity.
Today's the first day of school for my senior year. I'm excited to see everybody's reactions. That's one of my main things. I mean, I don't know what most of them are gonna say.
10 months after undergoing gastric bypass surgery, Brandon Bennett has lost a staggering 170 pounds. He's gone from a size 56 waist to a 38, from a 7X shirt size to an XL, from 411 pounds to his target weight of 240. It's a radical transformation, but will it be enough to turn the heads of his classmates?
What's up, dudes?
Man,
it's like
awesome.
January.
Doing good, man. You have changed, man. You have, wow.
Thanks,
So good.
Thank you. My first day's been great at school.
Look at you! You look great!
Thank you.
Wow!
Everybody's just happy to see me. They saw how much I've changed. Even teachers that didn't recognize me when I came back, and they all of a sudden, they were like, "Are you Brandon?"
Hey, you're looking wonderful.
Thank you.
We look so good, Brandon.
Thank
I love your blue shirt.
Thank you. They were shocked to see me.
How are you doing?
Pretty good. How about you?
Great.
Thank you.
You look great. So welcome back.
Thank you. Glad to be back.
Yeah. Your summer good?
Yeah, it was all right. So, it's been a good first day. What's that?
And it's only the beginning.
It's definitely a lot easier being a smaller body size, and I don't have to worry about, you know, being late to class because I can't walk that fast. It's easier to maneuver in the halls when there's all those people in there because I can move around them now.
You smell good. He talks to everybody a lot more. He's just more open, like he's happy, and I'm happy for him.
He's more confident around people, around all his friends, around girls, and everything. He's just like totally changed. Before, he really didn't have a lot of luck with the ladies. Now I think more, it's like they're kind of like, oh, he's cute, and this and that.
I don't have to worry about, you know, weight being the first thing on a girl's mind when I'm talking to her, because it's not that big of a subject anymore.
In fact, today there is a special girl in his life.
We just started hanging out probably like over the summer.
The time that me and Angie spend together, I mean, we just kind of hang out and have fun.
Well, he always like reminds me of like how like big he used to be, but I don't even remember him being that big. Whenever I think of him, I think of him the way he is now.
How was your day at school?
I'm proud of him. Not a lot of people could, you know, go through all that, and he did it, and he made it out, you know, perfect, and he's doing good, and I'm glad he's healthy.
I just really like her. She's a good friend. She's a good person.
What Brandon Bennett's been through hasn't been easy. He's had to fight every step of the way to get to where he is.
You yearn, you're lost, wanting someone to take you as you are.
And there may be more battles to come. Little is known about the long-term effects on gastric bypass patients his age. But for now, there's no question that the surgery probably saved and certainly revitalized his life.
I don't have any more high blood pressure. My diabetes reversed. I don't have sleep apnea anymore. I don't have any heart problems or health problems anymore.
One by one, the days go by. You could run if you dare try. Wanting to shed your skin again.
He's winning this game and this battle that he had with obesity, and he has championed over it.
I've just seen a beautiful transformation in my son. He has a future now, and before he didn't even think about a future.
This experience has just changed my whole life.